YouTube. What's good, guys? Welcome back to the spot. Hopefully, we can kill some boredom. So today, I'm hoping I can learn you something, in case y'all, renting a property, the price of everything, rent's going up, deposits going up, like everything's ignorant. So if you getting out of a place due to your rent going up, I have a few friends that had that issue, and he was asking me how to do some general maintenance, DIYs around the house. So the rest of the year, I'm going to focus more on home renovations, more so to help my buddy out, but hopefully it can help someone else out. Today, all I'm doing is just patching the hole. You can do this method on any hole if drywall is involved. But enough jaw jacking, we're just going to jump into it, guys. Let's get it. Okay, so this is the hole we're patching. We actually rewired, went to a plastic instead of a metal box. And right here, you can see it's 4 pieces. A combination of 4 pieces of drywall patched in with no tape. So what I did is just basically put some mud all around the 4 corners, get it in there, even right here. And that's so when we come around, this is a hard surface to work with instead of it being brittle. Right here, the sanding we did was this right here. Nothing fancy, 120 grit. As you see, made by the same people. For me, I already get it pre-mixed. I could care less, about brand. I'm willing to put the time in, because brand matters about speed of drying and things of that nature and how lazy you want to be on the back end. But anyways, I'm going to set y'all up and we're going to get this thing going. All right, you can see how it kind of goes inward right here. So we got to build the center out and make it work. It gets so ugly, guys. But this is what I use right here to glue the seams, because it's all old. This is what I use to begin with. Ooh, I'm gonna make that ugly. Don't even know the limestone, guys. It's just happen to buy them around the way. Let's get started. Man. Ooh, that burning. And we're gonna push hard. And the reason we're pushing hard is because we want to get it in the cracks as much as possible. So right now, that's what we're doing. We're like filling the cracks. And all I'm doing is just a little. See, and it needs to go in. You can see the seam right there. Needs to go in just a tad, like right there. But there's no backing behind it. So we're gonna make it work. And there's a reason I'm tearing it right here, and that's because it's sanding. Because the sander, you got to do more effort to actually get through that little cardboard layer. All right, guys. Now we're gonna let that sit until it dries, and we're gonna come back to it. It's been 1 hour. Again, I'm using 120 grit, and we're about to just work it. In the beginning, I apply pressure And then after I do my first hit, I go to friction, meaning I just less pressure, more stroke. And it's kind of a feel for it, like it moves right here. Like you kind of got to feel it. And you can still see the seam. There's no tape, and that's not moving. You can see my strokes because I'm adding force to wear that away to level it out. Then I can put pressure on it now that it's glued. And it's lumpy here because that's still a low spot. And you can see I'm tearing it up, using it hard. But these things are cheap. I'm probably on my third one for the entire bathroom, so these last. And that's all you need to clean. Right there, I need to sand a little more right here. Fill that in. Fill in over here on the edge. But overall, and that was only one coat that got me here. Alright, now it's time to work it again, guys.
Round 2.
And now right here I'm pushing down, getting the flex. Now it's straight on the edge. And you can see the seam starting to vanish. See, it's not dry right here, and I'm starting to rub through. So I'm going to stop here. Give that time to dry. See, when it's not dry, it'll start clumping in there. So we're going to let that dry, come back. Again, guys, nothing fancy. Haven't mixed it or anything. I will eventually, just not on this task. And I didn't clean it, and I purposely didn't. You could tell. You can see how the lines are going through. That's what happened when you use a dirty tool. I purposely did that just to show you why I clean it. I typically go to my bench grinder, but clean is clean. Doesn't matter how you do it. Okay, this is what we got going. I'm going to leave it here. We're going to let this dry, and then we're going to smooth it, and we are good to go. All of the really bad spots will be covered, as you see. Remember, we built it up. It was dipped in right here. Alright, it looks good. I like the way it's coming. I'm going to sand it. I think I'm done here. But we'll know after I sand it if I'm going to do one more layer or not. So, let's get it. It's clumping up in there. That means it's not completely dry. You can see. So we're going to give it more time. See, still wet. And it's been on for an hour. I did put that last coat pretty thick. We're going to play with it a little bit, guys. Now we're going to let this dry. And I'm going to hit it one more time just for this area. It's actually a little lumpy right there. You can see it bulge like a little thumb. So I'm going to hit that. But overall over here, pretty happy with. Just because I'm going to hit over here, I'm just going to smear one more layer on. And that's only because I'm hitting right here. But I'm pretty happy with this. We're going to let it dry. And again, you see, nothing fancy, guys. See, my tools are dirty. This is going to be my last one, so I'm not going to play around and do the traditional just scrape and clean. I'm going to go back to my bench grinder and clean it. But this is what we're working with right here. You can't even tell that that was 4 pieces of sheetrock, huh? Alright, I'm going to do one more coat. And that's as far as I'm going. Again, the reason I'm adding one more coat is just for this little bit right here. There's a hump. So what I'm going to do is, because there's a nail right here, I'm just going to cover the whole hump. Typically, if there wasn't a nail or screw right here, I would just sand it down, flush, and then come with some mud to smooth it out. But we're just going to go over it to hide the hump. We're going to make a bigger hump, but thin it out more. Paint. Alright guys, so we're going to let this actually sit overnight because this is my last coat. So we're gonna let this sit overnight, and then we're gonna hit it.
6.5 hours later.
Okay, everything is good except this spot right here. That's the only spot I gotta hit, and that's the backing of the drywall. I actually think I put it on backwards, and it was poking out too much, and I sanded it now. But you can see how smooth that is over there. And the reason I'm gonna hit that is because it's furry, and if I paint it, it'll just make the paint furry. You can leave it if you don't care, but I'm gonna do it. Just that little spot. Okay guys, so this is the paint we're using right here. This is the brush or the roller I'm going to use. The reason I'm using this one is we actually had 2 extras of these small ones, and the 2-inch roller is broken. So I'm going to use my 4-inch roller with the 2-inch rolling pad. So we're going to make it happen. Alright, alright. See, if it fit, I wouldn't have to move it, but I gotta move it so I don't score the paint while I'm getting it on the wall. See, a true DIY, guys. True DIY. None of that getting special tools. I'm using what I got on hand. Like, this would be better if I had a 4-inch instead of a 2-inch, but it is doing it. So we're gonna let this dry, and then we're gonna come back and put a second coat around it. Okay, it's been 12 minutes with the fan on. So we're gonna do one more coat of paint, and then we're gonna call it a day, guys. And there it is. That's nice and pretty. Patching a quick little hole, nothing fancy, nothing to it. If I wanted to, I could have did my sanding better by swapping my sanding pad, because that's what those scores are. That's just because I had a old sanding pad. But that's it. That's how you patch a hole, guys, with no tape. Thanks for coming. Spot you in the next one.